Hello there, World of Tankers! Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, the Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing what I consider to be 3 of the best Tier 8 tech tree vehicles in the game. Tech tree tanks are free, and that's great. It means that you can get your hands on them without having to spend any money. And while a lot of people believe that premiums and collectors are overpowered and make a huge impact in the games you play, believe it or not, I think that many tech tree tanks are just as strong, if not more capable. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing 3 of the best tech tree tier 8 in the game. If you'd like to see more videos like this with different tiers, let me know in the comments down below. There's obviously loads of content that I can post on World of Tanks Blitz. The vehicle we're going to be starting with in today's video is the Arak 105 Proto. This is a tier 8 French medium, and it's basically a Boss Chatillon Barrasque, but different. The Barrasque has certain advantages, and this tank has other advantages. Let's start off with the Barrasque. What does the Barrasque have going for it? Well, 320 damage per shot allows it to deal 640 damage in 2 point... Is it just 2 seconds? I think it's just 2 seconds. The Barrasque has an insanely dangerous gun and ridiculously fast intra-clip. The downside of the Barrasque is that it doesn't have much gun depression, and that can be a big downside. This tank has 8 degrees of gun depression versus the Barrasque's 6. And what that means is that you can actually work ridge lines with this vehicle very effectively. This tank also has a more accurate gun and better penetration, especially on the premium, which means that you can actually get some very dangerous bleeds out into your opponents. The intra-clip is a little bit longer though, and the damage per shot is a little bit less, but you can still deal 600 damage in 2.5 seconds. That's a lot, and we're going to see just exactly in this game that damage go crazy. We've decided the RU-251, we get a 298 damaging shell. Ooh, is the RU going to back up? No, the RU actually pulls forwards. Okay, well, at this point, there's not much I can really do to that player. We do spot some tanks crossing, and yeah, we'll just get a quick shell into the Yag Tiger. Alright, not too bad. We're up to 604 damage, and we reload. The nice thing about having a little bit less damage per shot with this vehicle is it means you will obviously reload your clip. Sorry, had a bit of a brain fart. You'll reload your clip a bit faster. And as much as I want to shoot that RU, I'm going to be smart. I'm not going to shoot because that RU will stay undetected, and it won't detect me. Then we can let that player do that, and then we can move over here, and we can aim it on the side of these tanks and bounce the flat side. Alright, let's try again. There you go, not bad. Obviously, with 2 shells, it means that you always have the opportunity to get another shell out. Okay, well, we're going to be smart about this. The 114 is going to start to leave, and I might get shot by the M103, but we need to leave, and the reason why is that the Yag Tiger is a really dangerous threat. So, we're going to wait here. We'll see if this 114 pulls back. I know that he just shot, so we can actually move up ourselves. Come on, give me some room. Thank you. Alright, and we aim it on the 114. Okay, that's what we call bad RNG. But that's okay, we have the RU. I thought he was going to back up, and he didn't, so my HE unfortunately did not have penetrating that player. But that's okay. We're doing fine. We've done 1,000 damage already, and we haven't bled a single hit point. So, really, even if I mess up a couple shots here and there, it's all fine. We have the Skoda T20 in the back. We got 1 shell to that player for 305. And it's aiming on the side of the M103 turret. There you go, another 286. You can start to see where that 8 degrees of gun depression definitely feels really nice. The Barrasque would not be able to work this position nearly as effective. And because of that, it does allow this vehicle to be a lot more capable in these moments we're playing in it here. So, let's see. The M103 shoots. I'm going to move up myself. We're going to aim in... We'll just fire standard shell. We fire 1 into the upper plate, 1 into the roof of the M103. And we're up to 2,200 damage already. Again, you can see that this 600 damage output is actually quite impressive. Like, it's really nice. And the accuracy, the really good levels of penetration, and everything else working in our favor allow this tank to just rip out damage. Now, we have a Yag Tiger here. This is a great example. The Yag Tiger, super dangerous tank. I was going to say, takes 460 health off me, but he missed somehow. But even then, I still won that trade, and quite a bit of that trade. I did 600 damage to that player. We reload again. We got the Yag Tiger here. The Yag Tiger is not running the stock gun, so that is something to keep in mind. But we get a 330 damage shell, and we get a clearing shell into the lower plate of that Yag. So just like that, we have dealt now, I would assume, over 3,000 damage, which is obviously really good. We're going to activate our speed boost, and we're going to move over towards the Scepter and see if we can get a little bit of damage into this player. Hello, Mr. Scepter. Let's go for one penning shell. Our 452 guy got another penning shell, and just like that, we got a win. We did 3,400 damage. And you can see why this tank's great. The gun is accurate, the gun depression allows me to work a ridgeline. If we were in a Balshati on Barask, realistically I would not have played it towards mid. I would have gone over towards medium side or heavy flank and worked the position better there. But because I can work mid, it allows me to just use this tank and its effective capabilities very well. We aced the vehicle, we did 3,500 damage, and earned 90,000 credits because of that ace. So no complaints from me there. Now we move over to the next vehicle in the list, which is the Progetto 55 Mod 54. This tier 8 Italian auto-reloading tech tree heavy is grinding to the Rinocerante. What's great is that the Rhino and the whole line to grind up to it itself is great. I mean, the tier 8 is fine, the tier 9 is amazing, and the tier 10 is fantastic as well. In fact, I think the tier 10 is almost too strong. But this tier 8 has a lot of amazing capabilities. It's an auto-reloader, and not only that, but you gain damage per minute when shooting the shells. As we know, there's a lot of reverse auto-reloaders, and then there's a lot of reserve shell auto-reloaders, where, you know, like the Minotauro or the Caro, if you shoot, you know, 2 shells in the Minnow, and then you decide, I want to shoot my 3rd shell, you're going to be paying for it. You got to wait 20 seconds to get another shell back. This tank only has 2 shells, and it doesn't matter if you shoot either shell, you have solid DPM either way. The damage per shot is a bit on the lower end, I think it's like 330, but that's fine, because you make up for that damage per shot with really, really solid DPM, good accuracy, ridiculously good levels of premium penetration. Even running vents, I still have 260 mils of premium pen, and that's obviously really nice. Now this team is going town. I don't love going town, I'll be entirely honest, I think it's really, really poor. But at the end of the day, if my team's going to go town, I don't really have much of a choice. What's great about this tank is it's actually very fast. It reaches a top speed of 38 kilometers per hour. It reverses at 17. And, yeah, because of that, it's actually quite nice. It also has 9 degrees of gun depression and pretty solid turret armor, allowing it to actually get away with playing fairly aggressive. And we're going to see that right here. There's 1 shell into the enemy Black Prince, and we actually have the Scorpion G in the back, so we're going to load in a high explosive, and there you go, nice 386. As I mentioned, you gain damage per minute shooting the shells. So there's no downside in me firing into that Scorpion, as there would be in, let's say, a Minotauro or a different type of auto-loading vehicle. Now we have the T-29 right here. We're going to aim it on his vehicle, get a nice 258. We're going to reload again, and get another nice 321. We are already up to 1,300 damage in this game, which is obviously really, really good. We're going to reload again, and this is where that, you know, single-shot action feels great. Low roll into the SU-130, but it's fine. We're doing a mighty solid job here. We got 2 seconds left on our reload. We'll aim it on that Yo. However, we are not able to get a shell out. That's fine. We get a clear into the enemy Black Prince. Okay, doing pretty good so far. Got a little bit longer left on our reload, then we can get a shell into the side of the WZ. Nice 332. Could have high explosive that WZ because he got spun, but that's fine. We're going to reload again in another couple seconds here. Get another... Poof, that sucks. I can't really say it's much fault of the gun. It's just bad luck, right? Oh well, we just back up. The VK does not clear that player, so I will clear that player. Is the WZ going to try and poke? No, maybe? I'm not really sure what this WZ's game plan is, but we're going to aim it on the flat side. We get a low roll. It's only 280 damage, and wow, 574 from that player. What the heck? All right, well, let's aim it on the WZ. There you go. Easy clear. That's fine. We just chill right here. We reload. We're up to 2,500 damage now. And, yeah, we'll be completely fine. I mean, the Tiger crosses. We get a clear into you. You can see how this auto-reloading gun is just so nice. I mean, the M30 pokes and bounces me. Not very surprising. You're dead. Anybody else? Like, that's great. Like, I can always feel like I'm doing something in this tank. And then what's also really nice is that I don't need to obviously poke it every single second. So if I want to be a little bit smarter here, I can wait for my second shell to come back, shoot the Scorpion, and then now I have another shell. So if anything wants to try and fight me, I can immediately use the second shell. And I can use this to big brain the, well, if the Scorpion's just going to poke, it doesn't really matter. But I was going to say I can use that to big brain the Scorpion, but there you go. Some very easy shells. We've gotten 6 kills in this game, by the way. So I'm actually going to be very, very smart about how we play this. And I'm going to let the Yag Panther shoot this player. one more time is the goal. Actually, I'm just going to let the T-29 kill the Jagd Panther. I'm not going to risk throwing a 7-kill game, so I'm just going to let the T-29 kill this player. And then after the T-29 kills the Jagd Panther, I guarantee myself 7 kills in this battle. Wow, that's kind of crazy. There you go, guys. I think this is a great example of the Progetto, though. 7 kills. I have very rarely gotten 7 kills. I didn't even notice we had 6 until I looked right up at the top there and saw a 6 on my screen for a brief second. But, yeah, that's a 7-kill game. Pretty easy one at that. 4,000 damage dealt. Probably another ace. No, first class. It's a great example of the tank's capabilities, though, huh? We earned another 90,000 credits and finished top in the team. As we can see, the Progetto is a fantastic tier 8 heavy, and it's one that I find a lot of fun playing in. It's got a lot of shells, it's got a lot of DPM, and a lot of effective capabilities. So if you want an absolutely amazing tier 8 to grind, and the whole line itself to be super fun, I would definitely recommend to go for this vehicle. And that brings us to the final vehicle in today's video, a tier 8 Italian tech tree tank destroyer, the SMV Constructor 64. This vehicle is still overpowered in my opinion. Why? Well, for many reasons. First of all, it features really good damage per minute, 2,700. It also has 11 degrees of gun depression, a turret which nothing can pen, even tier 9s are going to struggle to pen it. And when you pair all of that together with decent mobility and actually a semi-traversable turret with fairly decent traverse speed, yeah, this tank is kind of wild. Now, that's not to say it doesn't have downsides. Every tank has downsides. It's a heavy tank, but it's a tank destroyer. And that means that you're starting off your game with about 500 to 600 less hit points than the other heavies around you. So, if you over-aggress too much, even if you have more DPM and you have more armor than your opponents, doesn't mean that you can't get quickly overcome. And this is definitely a game here where, you know, the enemy team has 3 tier 9 heavies and a T-30. Basically, they have an unfair matchup, but we'll see what we can do. We will see. We have a T-95, and yeah, our team is going to make it over towards the heavy flank. I mean, that's fine. The one downside of being in a tank destroyer sometimes is that you will spawn in an area that is not necessarily next to the heavies, so you have to drive a little bit further to catch up to your teammates. But it's not too big of a deal. We're heading over there, and I think we'll be just fine. Now, with the 11 degrees of gun depression, it means that we can work this side of the map very, very easily. So, I don't actually have too many complaints about going here. And because I've got really good turret armor, it means, really, I don't have much to complain about. We have the enemy VK-45, we have the 50 TP. I don't know exactly what I want to do here just yet. I'm going to aim it on the VK, and there you go. Nice 351 damaging shell. One great thing is because you're a tank destroyer, you have obviously really, really good values of penetration. So even if you're aiming it on tier 9 heavies, I can cut right through that turret cheek. We've already done 700 hit points to that player, which is quite a bit when you actually realize it. We got the, well, the Pershing, which was never, ever going to pen me. Easy 450 damage shell right there. Okay, well, we're up to 1,100 damage so far. We have the IS-8 in mid, but our T-95 is stopping that player from doing really anything. Oh, we got a 640 bounce. That would 100% be the T-30 on the enemy team. Let's aim it on the VK again. Nope, shell went just a little bit too high. So, at this point, what do we want to do? Because, obviously, I can't cross, but what I could do is maybe push with my T-95 over towards the IS-8. I don't think that's too bad of a play at all. So, I think that's what we're going to do here. We're going to move up a bit, and I'm hoping that we can kind of get into this position here. This is actually a really good spot. We got the Pershing, we got the 50 TP, but yeah, this position I'm moving up to here is really, really good. And the reason why is because if enemy tanks try rolling off to my side, here, I've got this mountain covering me, and I'm still able to hold the spot hull down, so it is a really, really solid just position in general for me to put my tank in. This 50 TP will not be able to pen me in this spot, and we've already done a lot of damage in this game. We are already sitting at 1,800, which is quite a solid amount when you realize that I am just in a tier 8 tank destroyer. So we have the VK right here, and you're going to back up. What are we going to do, huh? What's the play? I mean, I'm just going to wait here patiently, and we'll see what happens. I think what I could do, actually, if I'm smart about this, is I'm going to back up just like so until... Ooh, actually, if the VK is going to show me the side of its turret, I'm just going to pen it with an AP shell. What I was going to do is I was going to look on this WZ on the top of this ridge, but I don't even need to do that if the enemy's going to make that play. So, let's just back up a little bit on the ridge line here. And this is going to give me the ability to shoot either the Samwa... Oh, there you go. Samwa moves up. Unfortunate shell, but not too big of a deal. VK is going to show me the side of his tank. He's going to YOLO and die. Let's see if we can get a pendant to the Samwa. There you go. Easy 407 damaging shell. We're doing really good in this game. We're up to 2,600 damage already. We're naming on the Samwa. And easy pending shell for another 450 damage there. T-30 does scare me, but not enough to really warrant me to run away. In fact, I'm just going to push the T-30. I have enough health, I have enough DPM, and I got enough capabilities here that I'm not really worried. I do get penned by the IS-8, which is a bit of a bummer, but nothing that really scares me. Let's pen the T-30. Okay. That's what we call getting screwed by RNG. I don't know what else to say about that. But that's fine. We reload again. Aiming on the flat side of the T-30. Nice 486 high explosive into his vehicle. Just like that, the enemy team only has a couple tanks left. The IS-8, we have the SMV, or not the SMV, the Samwa, who's dead now. Love to be able to get a pendant to the IS-8. There you go. Nice 150 damage shell into the turret. And all that's left is the 50 TP. We've already done a great job in this game. I've done 4,100 damage. This was really easy. And it showcases just how capable this tank is. Like, the gun, it's not great, I'll be honest. It's not super accurate. It's really derpy. And the armor, it can be troll at certain times, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, the tank's mobile, as we can see here. Like, it's not slow. And the DPM is so good that even if you miss a shot, you still out-reload most other tanks, especially, you can imagine when this thing fights tier 7s, just how frickin' strong it is. So, where is this 50 TP? I'm going to assume that the 50 TP's over here. But I could be wrong. The player could have ran away. I don't know. It's obviously impossible to guess where the enemy tanks are going to go. Dunas. I would assume that means dunes, and look at that. My guess was perfect. I am the noob whisperer. I can always predict where the noobs are. It's always easy to tell, and I don't really know what this player's doing, but what I'm going to do is pen him right there. And just like that, we get a really, really easy win. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 3 best tech tree tier 8s. Now, obviously, there are other tech trees which I think are great. 53 TP. And the Chisei, the Tiger 2, there's so many. I could have made a second video if I wanted to, but I also didn't want today's video to be, you know, super, super long. We ended up doing 4,500 damage, acing the tank. That means we got 2 aces and 7 kills in the 3 battles we played today, which is kind of wild. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.